wanted to say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right, thank you. Thank you. Once again for the opportunity to interact with each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively. We thank you for this gift you are giving to us. Let us begin this transmission with the title, 30 Days of Disclosure. Now, we have talked about recently the idea that there is a protocol list of things that are done when we begin to interact with a new civilization. And we have indicated all the different steps, stages, phases of this and indicated approximately where you are on this list in terms of what phase is coming up next. So right now, what we are about to suggest as an experiment is part of these protocols, part of accelerating the idea of open contact, and as with many of the protocols on the list, it will involve us observing what it is you do with this and noticing how what you choose to do changes the energy, accelerates the energy. So this experiment is not just about what effect it might have on others, but what effect it has within you, including your willingness to participate in it. So let us begin by asking this question. How many of you would prefer to have disclosure of ET information? So not that many then. All right. Are you willing to help bring this about in a more accelerated way? All right. Up to you. This is not something that you are forced to do, not something that you should do, not something that you have to do, but it will be fun and it will be simple. But I will let you know that if you are willing to commit to doing this, it will make a big difference. So, here we go. You may even wish, if you have access to it, to write down what we're about to say. You don't have to. You'll be able to understand it simply later. It can be repeated easily by anyone who has written it down. You can share this. Are you ready? Who is not ready? No, all right. Are you ready now? All right. So, wherever it is that is easiest for you to acquire them, they do not have to be fancy. They can be very, very inexpensive. It doesn't matter. Allow yourself to purchase 90 postcards. 90 postcards. Very simple. 2 sides, place for one of your stamps, place for the address it's going to on one side, place for you to write something on the other side. Very simple. Again, nothing fancy. Anything that can be delivered by your mail service is fine. But 90 postcards. Now, on one side where the address goes, you're going to write 3 lines. The first line will say, "The President of the United States." The second line will say, "The White House." And the third line will say, "Washington, D.C." No return address is necessary. None whatsoever. Now, flip it over on the other side. You will write, also, 3 lines. The first line will be UFO disclosure The second line will be by 2020. And the third line will be, we'll get our vote. So in total, it will say UFO disclosure by 2020 will get our vote. Now, you have coming up 3 months before the end of your year, October, November, December. Put stamps on your postcards, and beginning on October 1st, which will also coincide with other experiments going on by other people regarding disclosure around your planet, stick it in the mail. 1 postcard each day for 30 days in October. Each day, 1 postcard. Mail it off beginning on the 1st. Doesn't matter if the month has more days than 30. Just do it 30 days in a row. Doesn't matter if there is a holiday or anything like that where the mail may not be working. Just put it out there each day for 30 days in October. Then, on the 1st of November, once again, mail out the beginning of the next 30 on the 1st and for 30 days. 1 each day, go and mail it. 1 postcard a day. And on the beginning of December for 30 days. 3 times 30.
Oh, it'll say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. All right. Thank you. All right. We thank each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively for the co-creation of this interaction this day of your time. Each and every time you offer us an opportunity to interact with you, we get to experience yet that many more ways that creation has of expressing itself. We would like to begin this transmission, as we have titled it, Amplifying First Contact, with suggestions for what you can do to help accelerate, magnify, and amplify the probability of open contact between your civilization and other extraterrestrial civilizations such as our own. This requires action on your part. And if you are excited and passionate about allowing the contact that you are experiencing with us right now to transform into something more physical, so that we may together become something more than either of us individually can become, then by all means allow yourselves to begin to communicate with different organizations on your planet, with different governments on your world, to let them know that you know we exist, that you know many of us are here, and that you are asking, requesting the idea of disclosing the information that many of your governments already know about our existence in whatever manner is appropriate for your world, but that they do allow themselves to speak openly to some degree of the fact that most people on your planet know that there are extraterrestrial beings that have been with you for generations, thousands of years, that this is not really a secret, even though many people on your planet would like to keep it that way, for fear, for many negative reasons. But you, in your exploration of spirituality, in your exploration of the expansion of your consciousness, in the willingness to become more of who you truly are starting to sense that there is more than just your bodies, more than just your physical minds, and that as you stretch your senses out, you begin to perceive that there are also other consciousnesses all around you in different dimensions who are aware of you and are open to the idea of making contact more solidly, more firmly, if you would only drop all of the assumptions, drop all of the barriers that you create with your belief systems, with any fear-based definitions, and open up to the idea of the existence of other beings more fully, then you will begin with your senses to perceive things that were previously invisible to you, because this is part of the evolution of your species, that you can begin to perceive things you did not know were around you all the time, coming and going. There is a lot of activity right here, right now, all the time, that goes unnoticed by you because your senses are operating on a frequency level that is too low to perceive these things in general. But as you open up, as you follow your passion, as you become more of yourselves, as you expand your idea of what you are as beings, you accelerate the ability of others to communicate with you, because as you become more capable of perceiving them, they will then recognize that you are recognizing them, and they will respond, all of these different beings, and they will interact with you. As you drop the veils between your reality and other realities, as you allow your mind to stretch and overlap and begin to perceive more and more of the other realities that are all right here, overlapping one another, your world will become very different. Space and time will become very flexible, very malleable, and you will be able to experience things that border on the idea of what you typically call magic. For synchronicity will expand, synchronicity will increase, and you will be able to experience exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. This will go hand in hand with more communication from beings on other levels to allow you to know that you are always being given the help that you need. You are always being given the guidance that you ask for, because it's not about asking for more than you're already being given. You are already being given all the help and all the guidance that we can possibly give. So when you ask for a sign, when you ask for assistance, when you ask for help, all you're really doing is asking to open up your own senses to be able to perceive more clearly the help that you're already receiving, because no more help can be given, because you're being given everything that we can give. So it's on your side, your end, to be able to perceive the help you're already being given more clearly. Then you will know that you have always been supported, you have always been assisted, you have never been alone. And that will accelerate the idea of living in a reality where you are truly interacting not only intergalactically, but also interspiritually. You'll begin to break down those barriers between the idea of physical and non-physical reality, and you'll begin to know that you never really lose anyone when they die, that death is just a transition into a different state, and that family is always family, and that you will be able to communicate with them much more clearly in much the same way that you communicate with each other in physical reality. As you continue to expand your senses by acting on your highest passion in life, your world will become very, very different, and you will be able to shift your experience of reality through various versions of different parallel Earths that already exist, allowing yourself to guide yourself, to steer yourself through those different versions, shifting through those different versions, more and more and more, becoming and living and experiencing versions of Earth that are already existing and already more reflective and more representative of the world that you prefer, because they will simply be a reflection of the changes you have made within yourself, within your own energy. You never change the world that you're on. You shift to another version of Earth that is already more representative of the change you have made within yourselves. So by allowing yourselves to know that it is a reality that we exist, that it is a reality that you are surrounded by beings from different dimensions, then you will begin in those actions that you take with that knowledge to bring, in a sense, heaven down to earth, to embody that energy, that state of being within yourself that knows that such things are real, that knows that you are a part of a larger community, that knows you are connected to everything you need to be connected to, and in acting from that state of being in everything that you do in life, bit by bit, at whatever rate is comfortable for you, at whatever pace is relevant for you, you will begin to perceive, as we said, more and more and more and more of the things that are around you right now that may be invisible to you at this moment. So do not be surprised, do not be shocked, do not be scared by the different things you will begin to perceive as your senses become more receptive and more sensitive to looking at different frequencies, different vibrations that are representative of other beings and other levels of reality. Do you understand what we are saying to you? All right. Does that sound exciting to you? I believe you. This is the way to amplify contact in your world. You take the actions that are relevant and representative of a state of being that knows, not believes, not thinks, not guesses, but knows that there are other beings with you, that knows that you are connected to the universe, that knows itself fully as an expression of creation. And from those actions and inspirations that come to you in that state of being, will you then accelerate and amplify contact on all levels, not only outward to the stars, but inwardly into all the levels of your own consciousness. And you will see in the reflections of your outer reality more and more of the things that are representative of that state of being, of that certainty, of that knowingness. We thank you for allowing us to transmit this idea to you this day of your time, and we remind you that this transmission is not just the words that you may be hearing. There is energy being given to you right now, frequencies, vibrations of light and electromagnetic energy that are inviting you, encouraging you to match those frequencies, to help uplift you, raise your vibration, and allow you, in doing so, to experience more of the reality in the way that we do, because we know that you can, and we know that part of you already exists on that level, that higher level. All you need to do is relax into that, and you will be carried on the currents of creation to a higher level, a higher plane, as part of your evolution. If you just do nothing but let go and be yourself, those currents will carry you exactly where, how, and when you need to be carried to find and discover more of yourself, and to let go of those things that you now know have nothing at all to do with who you prefer to be. Does that make sense? All right. Does that sound exciting? All right. We believe you. In exchange for the gift that you are giving us in allowing us to interact with you in this way, I ask you now, in what way may we be of service to you? You may begin